always something has to happen for us to, you know, have stuff like this. Something always has to happen.
Now that everything happened over the summer, now it's, now Black Lives Matters is so important. Like it is, for me, it's always been important to me because of course I'm Black. Like it's been important to me and important for me to see my community and know that I'm excellent. And I mean, yeah, I get everything that happened, but we weren't doing this when, we weren't doing this years ago. And we should have, like, we should be more, like I said, like more mindful, like,
Consistent.
this matters
Yeah,
because
like
we're
our
getting.
lives matter every day, not just when one of us dies. Our lives matter when we wake up, when we drink, when we sleep, not when one of us, is
Gets killed in the streets, like.
exactly.
The Voice of Montbello podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Voice of Montbello podcast. Today we are talking about Black excellence.
Black excellence is the quality of being outstanding or extremely good. So what does Black excellence mean to you?
To me, Black excellence means like breaking the stereotypes that are made about Black people. Usually, most people, their stereotypes against Black people is that we can't get an education and that we're lazy and that we don't really do anything with our lives, and that we're troublemakers and things like that. So I think Black excellence is like proving them wrong, going to school, getting in education, having a career, or another, thing of excellence could be, you actually being the stereotype and then changing yourself so you could see like how you could like transform and you don't like live in the stereotype.
I think that being, like, proving people wrong and like going to college and getting your master's degree or like any other degree, um and having a career, just showing the world that you can be like everyone else, maybe even better. And I think oftentimes people think you have to be typically white and a male to go to college. So I think it's important to me to, um, for people to have an education.
When I think of Black excellence, I think of someone who is very determined in like the hardest parts of doing something.
I think of people who, Black people, Black females especially, who are in politics, such as Kamala Harris and Stacey Abrams. She was in the politics, so running for president, vice president. I think that's really, really a good thing. Our ancestors before didn't think that was possible, so I think that's Black excellence right there. And I agree with you, Jay. Having a career, like, that's something that people didn't think we could do. Madam CJ Walker, yes,
Oh yeah.
she was the first Black woman to be a millionaire. So I think that's a really good thing that we're like, that's what our people have.
Building a legacy.
Yeah, yeah, what she said.
I feel like Black excellence has always been here, but nobody notices it. It's always been like downplayed by like white excellence, or you know
And no one just doesn't believe in us. Like, it's just,
Black excellence has always been there, like always, if you
yeah.
ask me.
It's always been there. Like, we've had the talent to do things, but I just think, like what you said, Jaya, that, like, no one's just recognized it. No
We
one,
just keep getting shut out and shut down, you
yeah,
know?
I guess no one wants us to be great because there's just so many like stereotypes saying that we're not, especially I guess for me as a female, like we're people focus too much on how black females, black women are angry, and they don't really see the true us. They don't see how we, how we're making history, how we're doing things.
And friend, another thing for me is like how everybody judges the outside but like doesn't know your inside. Like, let's say that you see a black woman walking around with hoops, lip gloss, braids in, Jordan shorts, let's say like a basketball jersey, and everybody's just like, or long nails too, and everybody's like, she is so ghetto. I bet you she doesn't do this or that, or she can't do this, or she acts like that. And that could be like a businesswoman who has like thousands, like she can be, doing so much. And the same with, the guys. People could see them walking around with, a hoodie, baggy pants and stuff like that, and everybody just assumes. But that person right there could be anything.
I know my aunt, she owns her own business. So people look at her, people say that she has like this mean like face, the mean expression. People think that she's always angry. And people like look at her like, you own your own business. So I think like before you judge someone, you need to really truly get to know them, because she has her own business. And just because you think that she's angry, or just because she looks a certain way, um doesn't mean that she doesn't do anything, or she just sits at home. And like she could be doing a lot. She could be a millionaire, a billionaire. So yeah. Okay, friend, what is it like to be young, black, and go to school in Montbello?
I would say for the most part, it's decent, but there are many struggles. And I feel like some of the struggles that, go in with being young, black, and, going to a school in Montbello, like for instance, of course, McGlone, it's a school that I don't know, connects with our neighborhoods that we live around and the places we live. But I feel like it's kind of hard being a um a black kid at like a school in Montbello. And the reason that I say this because is like, of course we're noticed because, there is a lot of black children that go there, but I feel like with us, it's always something, last minute that's planned. Or for us, our things aren't as big, because like for instance, the events there, when it's, Black History Month and MLK the day, we don't have a celebration. We talk about it, we'll talk about it. There might be some posters on the wall in the hallway, but when it comes to the Hispanic week, like their week is like, there's what do you call it, they have dances in the auditorium, they have a thing where they, eat food and get together and things like this after school. But we don't have that.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, it's last minute things. And um when when it comes to other races and other like months, it's always planned, it's always on time. But when it comes to our month, it's never on time. So I think some things that our school specifically can do, when if we go back in person, is to like plan out our events a little bit better, and maybe even like include us more, like include the students more in the events. um so yeah, and be like more mindful of like when we're planning the events, and how um like to be on be on time, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
And friend, as you're talking and we're talking about how, the black students didn't have any events, this might kind of be irrelevant to the conversation, but now just thinking about it, like I've never seen an event or talk about any of, the children there who are islanders. They never had an event. I don't even think they get talked about. Now, since you're bringing that up, I'm starting to notice that. Okay, so I would say what McGlone needs to do next year is obviously they have more than one race of students. I feel like the school in general needs to educate themselves more on, different races, but mostly the races that go to the school. So, children can feel comfortable there, and I feel like after they educate themselves 100%, then that's when they should teach it on to us because the things that they educate us about, like you would think they know, everything and that they would teach us everything, but they don't. Just like in Black history, that should go into like consideration for the children because Black history can be like very important for certain, children. And I think it's important for, all children to know their history because I get frustrated not knowing all of my history. You know what I'm saying, friend? We talked about this before. Basically, we need to be educated more on Black history.
For me personally, like I like the school, and I haven't had a lot of, like I've had like there has been some up and down experiences that need, there of course nothing's perfect. So yeah, there was times, but I think just to be more aware of that, of our history, and to talk about it more, and to be more try to be more like mindful of the time that we're spending on certain events. And but I've been comfortable at this school. I just think there's just some things that can be changed to make it better. And I always think like things are good, things could be good, but there's always room for improvement. So yeah.
I know. It's like always something has to happen for us to, you know, have stuff like this. Something always has to happen.
Now that everything happened over the summer, now it's, now Black Lives Matter is so important. Like it is, like it for me, it's always been important to me because of course I'm Black. Like it's been important to me, and important for me to see my community and know that I'm excellent, and stuff like that. But I just feel like, now, why now? Like, I mean, yeah, I get everything that happened, but we weren't doing this when, we weren't doing this years ago. And we should have, like, we should be more like I said, like more mindful, like,
Consistent.
yeah, and consistent, more mindful and consistent, because like, this matters,
Yeah, like
because we're
our
getting
lives matter every day, not just when one of us dies. Our lives matter when we wake up, when we eat, when we drink, when we sleep, not when one of us, is
gets killed in the streets. Like,
exactly.
it matters every
Like
day.
that's what society makes it seem like. We only matter when we're
Hmm.
dead in the streets.
And I
But
think that's just like, we need to be more consistent. We need to because our lives do matter. All lives do matter, but like, we're getting killed in the streets, so all lives can't matter until our lives matter first, is basically what I'm trying to say. People, like, in their heads, they start to believe that when they hear about certain things. So I think that's why we're less recognized, and going back to about the Black excellence, that we're less recognized, and no one believes that we could do certain things, like own our own businesses or be billionaires.
okay, my advice for like, a teacher who hasn't been really teaching around, black children like that or, other minorities is you have to remember they don't come from where you come from. They might, talk in different ways or act different or dress different. That makes, better than them, that's just the surroundings that they were raised, on, and how they, grow up, the way they talk and stuff.
What teachers could do is, for one, be more of aware of our, our culture, and I also think to, if you see racism in the school, like, address it immediately, because we already live in a world where we're not appreciated. We already live in a hatred world, like, so I think to address it and to make us feel welcome, because I think a lot of kids makes, I mean, not for me personally, but some kids just may not feel welcome. So just make us feel welcome. Thank you for listening to the Voice of Montbello podcast. Today we discussed about Black excellence. Remember that you are excellent and you matter, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.